Welcome everybody, my name's Matt Gleed. We'll be starting very soon. The idea behind today is maybe this is your first workout of the day, maybe it's your last workout of the day, but we're going to be doing around about 20 minutes of core work. The idea behind this is just to get your body moving, get you working a little bit, just to get yourself moving, really to free up your body a little bit more really. We're going to do some core work. Hopefully you've had a nice Mother's Day. I know it's a very stressful time out there at the moment, so the plan of trying to release some stress by getting some workouts in, it's an important time to do that. It can be a tough time for a lot of people who are isolating and staying at home, so if we can do a little bit of core work and just get your body working a little bit, then that's kind of the goal really. There's quite a few of you logging on. We're going to be live on YouTube, on Instagram and Facebook all at the same time, so hopefully we should get a bit of a following. I've got a timer up on the screen. What we're going to be doing is basically working into this, getting your body ready. The workout itself, what we're going to be doing, all you're going to need is literally just your body. We don't need any equipment at all. You've got a mat or a towel to make it a little bit more comfortable. But the big focus really is just about getting your body moving. It's all going to be floor-based, hence the reason why your angle should be okay and it should be based at knee, down on the floor. In around about 30 seconds, we'll start doing some movement prep work and just getting your body ready for the workout coming up. I say it'll be around about a 20-minute workout. We're just going to do 8 simple exercises. We'll repeat them twice. So the first time, you're kind of learning the exercise. The second time, you'll get a chance to challenge yourself via a progression. We can always check down the exercise a little bit to make it a little bit easier for people if they need to as well. But we should hopefully have a few of you joining in. So let's make a start and just doing some movement preparation really to get your body ready. First thing we're going to be doing is just going to get you down onto your knees and onto your hands. Place your hands onto the floor, onto your mat. I just want you to round your back up, and then slowly lower your back down. As you lift your back up, look towards your knees. As you lift back down with your spine, let your head rise slowly. And again, just add some breathing into this as we breathe in, and we breathe out. Breathe in, and breathe out. And if you're just joining us, as we've already mentioned, we're going to be doing around about a 20-minute workout here, all based onto the core, and we're just doing a little bit of movement preparation, just to allow your bodies to start to feel what it's like to move if you've been in isolation. Hopefully it's been a nice day, so a few of you have got out a little bit. Just drop your bum down towards your heels. Reach your fingertips forwards. If you can creep your fingertips forwards, that'd be great. On the side and feel a stretch. Just think about pushing back to one heel here. Bring your hands back to the center. Or take it over to the opposite side. Again, just drop your butt down towards one heel. Slowly bring yourself back to the center and slowly bring yourself up again. What I want you to do here is just slowly lower your hips forward towards your hands, lift your chin and chest up tall, and then draw your hips back again. And again, draw your hips forwards, head comes up, and then slowly draw your heels back again. A lot of the movements that we're going to be doing today are really going to be about moving well. Some of the exercises will get quite tough. We do want to get your body working as much as we can. Turn yourself over for nice big circles, trying to free up your neck a little bit. There's been a lot of screen time over the last couple of days, I'm sure. Okay, so the first exercise we're going to do is a reverse crunch. So from here, what we're going to do is you're going to place your hands just to support you, and you're just going to bring your heels in towards you and extend back out again. The whole goal here is just to slowly get your body moving. We're going to be working through the hip flexors quite a bit, especially as it's going to be a lot of core exercises. So do what you can just to try and keep yourself moving here. All the movements will be fairly slow and deliberate, so that way then you can keep up. If there's a few people looking around here, come and join in. We're going to be here for about 20 minutes, just in front of the screen. 40 seconds of work. It's going to be around about 20 seconds recovery each time. I say around about 20 seconds because we're going to start moving you into and out of different positions as well. Next exercise we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a sit-up with your obliques. We're going to position yourself, line yourself all the way down. Your hands are just going to feel the bony part of the back of your head. And the goal here is just to lift yourself up from one side and back to the centre. And then over to the other side as well. Try and get your body up as high as you can. If you can lift your shoulder blades off the floor, then that would be great. If your movement isn't allowing you to lift your shoulder blades off the floor that much, then just try to reach across. And if you feel as if you need to, you can always use your arm to help lift you up a little bit higher as well. Nice work. Okay, 20 seconds rest. The third exercise we're going to be doing is the mini V-sit with a hug. So for this one, we're going to sit you nice and tall. The goal here is to really try and maintain a really nice straight spine. Lift your feet off the floor. We're going to do a little mini V-sit. We're just going to hug the knees at the end here. Okay, so try and reach out and then bring yourself back into the center. With every single repetition here, you are going to be balancing onto your seat bones. If you're doing this at home, just take your time, try and keep your balance. The whole goal is to work the core, so there's a little bit of lower back work, a little bit of stability work coming in here as well. Hopefully your heart rate's going to be nice and steady here. Not shooting up through the roof, but elevated slightly. Yeah, excellent. Our fourth exercise is going to be a ceiling reach. So for this one, what we're going to do is going to lay you flat onto the floor. Your arms are going to reach up, and your feet can either be flat onto the floor, or they can be brought towards you a little bit more as well. It really just depends on how you feel your hip flexors are going to feel. And you can always modify these at the same time. We're going to reach up towards the ceiling, and then lower yourself back down. You want to control the lowering phase of this one. Try to keep it nice and slow. The whole goal is not rushing down, keeping it nice and steady. This is a great exercise for bringing that de-acceleration of the momentum. So as you lower yourself back down, you should really start to feel that's when a lot of the challenge comes into the core. A little bit of the hip flexors on the way back up, working hard. Slowly lowering yourself back down with core control. Excellent. Good work, guys. Okay, so the next exercise is going to be a heel drop. For this one, it's all about lowering your heels, and we're looking to try and keep your legs at a 90-degree bend the whole time. Position yourself so your back is flat onto the floor. Place your hands, palms facing down onto the floor. And then from here, what you're going to do is you're going to lower one heel towards the floor and then bring it back in. Now, as you're doing this one, if you would like a little bit more of a challenge, but don't forget there is a round two, what you can start to do is extend your leg a little bit more. So the further you reach away, then using your leg as a longer lever is just going to challenge your stomach muscles a little bit more. If you're sat at home and you're thinking, maybe, maybe not, definitely you should join in. Come on down to the floor. We're going to be working here for about just over another 10 minutes. If you want to join in at any time, please do. Okay, the next exercise, we're going to stay seated fairly tall. And for this one, from here, we're going to extend your arms out in front of you and then lean yourself back. And I want you to find what I'm going to determine as a tremor of truth. If we can just get your stomach muscles to be shaking slightly, and then from here, we're going to rotate from one side back to the center to neutralize through the spine, and then over to the opposite side. The whole goal is to feel your core muscles working. So if you feel a lot of your hip flexors working, then just try to sit yourself back a little bit further to challenge you, or think about changing the position of your heels as well. Last one. Excellent. Okay, the next one's going to be a side plank. So for this one, we're going to stack your feet on top of each other. We're going to lift your chin and chest up tall, making sure the shoulder is over the elbow. Flatten your hand down onto the floor, and it's much more about focusing on the hip height than it is the head position as well. Okay, so bring yourself up, hold this really strong position. The option is to either support yourself onto the floor if you need to. If you can press your arm against your leg, that's fine. Or you have an option of extending your arm up nice and tall and just being strong as you hold this position. We're going to be here for another 5 seconds. And then we're going to do a really quick rotation over to the opposite side. Okay, let's transition now. Really quick. Position yourself up again. And the same thing. Extend your hips tall. Trying to squeeze your butt cheeks together to really stabilize this. It can be in this round. What we're going to do is we're going to be onto your front. So hands underneath your shoulders. I want you to come up into a press-up position. And then from this position, what you're going to do is you're going to reach towards your toes and then back into that press-up position. So reach towards your toes with your fingertips, then back into your press-up position each time. One of the things that will help you make sure that you've got a really strong plank position is, again, squeezing your butt cheeks together, and that just helps get all of your lower back, spine, your glutes activated, and start to really engage all of those core muscles just for that little second in between, just to make sure that all the muscles are helping support you as you get into the position. One of my other top tips would be looking at an imaginary line between your fingertips, especially as you come back into that press-up position, but look towards your toes with every single range of movement as you reach. And then come back to the center. Okay, so that's once round. So we've got around about 10 minutes of our workout left. And what we're going to be doing is all those same 8 exercises again. First one is going to be the reverse crunch. So again, place your hands just behind you. And the goal here is just to bring your heels towards the floor and then back in again. So if you're joining us or you're just popping in, have a little look at what we're doing. It's just going to be working as well. Helps me a lot. Just make sure you know what it's like. Personal trainers, we're not always the best counters, so no one can argue that. Good. Okay. A little bit of rest time. Second exercise is going to be an oblique sit-up. So for this one, we're going to lay down onto the floor. Your hands support just at the bony part, back of your head. And then from here, what I want you to do is I want you to come up, and if you can, get your shoulder blades off the floor. If that isn't for you, you can use your hand to help support you. But I'm going to try and get you through some progressions here. So the goal would be to bring your elbow up towards your knee without using any momentum. If you're throwing yourself forwards, that's not always the best way to do it. Much better to try and use your strength of your core rather than momentum. Good work. Try and keep your chin away from your chest. Excellent. Okay. Our third exercise on our list is a mini V-sit with a hug. So what we're going to do, position yourself nice and tall. Again, a nice straight spine if we can. From this position, it's going to be a little mini V-sit, and you're going to hug your knees in at the end. Okay, so your goal here is to try and keep balance the whole time. Now, if you can make this a little bit bigger, it will challenge you a little bit more. Every single time you come up, try and come up with a straight spine. Sometimes it helps to look up towards the corner of the wall and the ceiling. Trying to maintain that balance the whole time. If that is a little bit of a struggle for you, feel free just to do it with a single leg, and you can alternate those each time as well. Good work. Last one. Good. Okay, now we're going to position yourself ready for a ceiling reach. So for this one, again, we're reaching up towards the ceiling, spine flat onto the floor. The goal here is to lift the chest up as high as you can. As you come up, it's all about reaching as opposed to throwing your arms. So think about your hands reaching up rather than going forwards. Again, this can be a challenging exercise. If you feel your neck is starting to get a little bit sore when you're doing this one, again, you can support your neck. And if by doing that, you just start to take away a little bit of the strain. Think about your fingertips just resting at the back of your head just to sustain some of that weight into your hand. Yeah. Okay. Seated, the heel drops are the next one. So for this one again, if you want to make it a little bit more of a challenge this time, think about reaching your foot a little bit further away. Option of this, making this a little bit harder, is to reach with your hand as well. So we can reach, and if you can, think about lifting your shoulder blades off the floor as you come in. Good. You should feel a little bit of a stretch for the abdominal muscles. If you can feel that little bit of a stretch, that's where the work's really going to come in. Hopefully you've had your Mother's Day lunch and it's all gone down well. The last 10 seconds, keep the reach going. Remember, the progressions are there as an option. If that's not what yours is looking like at the moment, and yours is looking like just a heel drop here, that's absolutely fine. Okay, last few exercises now. Seated twist is the next one. So again, on this one, keeping the spine as straight as you can. Think about keeping your chin and chest up as tall as possible. Lower yourself back. Remember, if it feels like you're shaking a little bit, that's going to be your tremor of truth, and that's what we're looking for. A little bit of shaking in the core, and then from here, we rotate from one side, come back to the center, over to the opposite side. The lower you lean back, the harder the exercise is going to be as well. If you wanted the progression on this one, lift your feet off the floor. You will start to work those hip flexors quite a bit at this point though. Good work. Position's coming. Excellent. Okay, we've got the side plank. So remember, it's around about 20 seconds on each side with a really quick transition in between. Stack your feet on top of each other. Elbow underneath your shoulder, place your hand back onto the floor. Option of reaching your arm up. And for this one, you're going to try and squeeze your butt cheeks tight to really hold you in a strong, firm position. Reach up and hold. Think about pushing with the hips higher towards the ceiling. Keep reaching your hand tall for me. Now there's going to be a real quick transition over to the opposite side. Here it comes. Drop your hips down. You can face the opposite direction if you want to, or a quick swivel around, and then set yourself back up again. Straight back up into this one. Reach your hand high, hips pushing towards the ceiling, elbow underneath your shoulder. Keep yourself nice and strong. Good. The last few seconds, hold this position up tall. Now, the last exercise on this one is going to be, so again on this one, it's a press up position. Reach towards your toes and then come back into the center as well. Okay, here we go. Reach towards your toes, come back into that press up position, but make sure the hips come back in between into a nice neutral position each time. What we don't want to see is your hips being high or your hips being too low in the middle of that plank position. Breathe out as you reach your toes, breathe in as you reset your plank. Chase the plank and make it as strong as you can in between every single repetition you can. Just keep these going. This will be our last exercise, and then we'll just start to stretch out some of these muscles as well. Last few seconds, see if we can get 2 more in. Yeah, excellent. Okay, guys, so if you stayed with me for the whole time and you had maybe a succession of some of these exercises in, that's great. If not, play it back. Get yourself in a little bit more comfort, maybe get a towel or a drink and give it a go again. At this point, what I'd like to do is just round up through your back again. And then just unleash your back as well. Try and get your body moving as much as possible. Now, slowly bring yourself back up again, and what we want you to do is to lower your hips all the way forwards, lift your chin and chest up tall, and when you're holding this position, think about pushing your hips down, and think about bringing your shoulder blade back and down as well. Okay, let's roll back down. hips towards your heels. Walk your fingertips forwards. Try and get that long stretch through the body. This helps stretch up through all the muscles, especially good. Now we're just going to have a little side lie down here. What I want you to do is just take one ankle, bring yourself into a quad stretch. By stretching through the quads, this is where the hip flexors are attached to, so if we can just make sure that the quads aren't tight, that'll help your hip flexors feel good as well. If you can extend your hip forward, think about pushing your knee back slightly, just behind the line of the body. Good. Bring yourself back to the center. We'll just swap this over to the opposite side. Okay guys, well thanks so much for joining me. Hopefully this gets you moving a little bit. There's going to be more workouts coming up over the next few weeks. Obviously there's going to be a lot of you guys sat at home. So what I'll do is I'll try and get on here a few releases in your body. I'm also going to share some top tips on things that you can do as a fitness professional at times like this as well. This is my first live workout, so maybe this is giving you some confidence to give it a go yourself. And maybe just have a go at trying something different. It's important that you guys keep moving, keep your clients moving as well, and just hopefully release some of the tension on the building as well. Okay, thanks for joining us. Bye bye.